This video is not about this call.
Oh, it's going to drop! They're calling it an infield fly rule.
And it's definitely not about this bad boy either.
Right side, Cabrera will cut it off. Galarraga covers! He's out! No! He's safe!
Those are all for a different story. Let me take y'all back to July 26th, 2011. Actually, you know what? It was 1:50 a.m. on July 27th when this event occurred, because the game in question was in the 19th inning. The Braves and Pirates are 6.5 hours into what has already become a game for the ages. This is a game that's given us the dynamic duo of Cup Guy.
Oh, that's a lot of cups.
Yeah. And Let's Go Pirates Girl. Sidebar, the Braves just played the Pirates a few days ago, and there's a girl going completely ape in the later innings.
Versus Venters. Polanco is 0 for 3.
Could it have been the same person, back 7 years later to haunt broadcasts? But I digress. The game had been scoreless since the end of the 3rd inning. We're talking about 16 innings of thrilling scoreless action leading up to this moment. The Braves had used their incredible O'Flaherty, Venters, Kimbrel combination for the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Then Scott Linebrink and George Sherrill combined for the 10th, before Christian Martinez pitched 6 scoreless innings in relief. Then the Braves did the scariest thing a team could ever do, which is give the ball to Scott Proctor with the game on the line, and he tossed 3 scoreless innings of his own. This game was completely bonkers. On the Pirates side, a similar hodgepodge of relievers was being used, and it all led to Daniel McCutchen returning to the mound in the bottom of the 19th after having already pitched 5 scoreless innings of his own. The game was now the longest in Turner Field history, but with Jordan Schaefer on second and Julio Lugo on third and just 1 out, the Braves were threatening to walk it off. Which Atlanta Brave will come to the plate to drive in the game-winning run? Oh, it's Scott Proctor. This is the kind of thing that happens when you play 19 innings. Alright, we finally made it. I'm going to show you the worst call in MLB history. Let's watch together.
Ground ball. Alvarez coming home. And it's not in time. He's called safe and the Braves win the game.
What the f***? No. Seriously, what the f*** was that? Let's watch it again.
Ground ball. Alvarez coming home. And it's not in time. He's called safe and the Braves win the game.
I know that the questionable infield fly and Galarraga's near perfecto had more at stake, but in a vacuum, this has to be the most ludicrous call I have ever seen. Lugo isn't anywhere near the plate when the ball arrives to catcher Michael McHenry. There wasn't a single person in the stadium who thought Lugo was safe. Well, except for home plate umpire Jerry Meals.
Think you had a bad day? Well, what about being responsible for this? A big game that goes 19 innings, more than 6 hours, and because of you, the call that ends it all was wrong. Here's GMA News anchor Josh Elliott.
He called him safe.
How can you end
You've
the game?
got to be kidding me, Jerry Meals.
No sooner had Meals gotten it all wrong, a fact he would later admit, than was heard the cry for instant replay.
Yes, that was an ABC News segment about the game. Not every baseball fan remembers it now, but this call was a huge deal, even though it was just a regular season game in July. At the center of the controversy was Jerry Meals, who came out and apologized the next day after doing a replay analysis of the call. So now it's time to do a replay analysis of our own. How could Meals have thought that Lugo was anything but out? The ball comes into McHenry, who is standing pretty far up the third base line. Lugo is nowhere near home plate as the tag is applied. Wait, the tag. Can someone run that angle back? The one from the ABC News report?
Kidding me, Jerry Meals.
No sooner had Meals gotten it all wrong.
Oh my god. Look, it would be insane to say that McHenry definitely misses that tag. But boy, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the possibility exists. It's very close. I would say too close to call, but for the sake of being fair, I'm going to show you the best possible evidence that McHenry makes the tag, Now keep in mind, this is the stuff that actually argues against my thesis, but you guys deserve to know what's out there without doing some crazy sleuthing of your own. Here's the closest angle I could find in high quality. Watch McHenry's glove. See what McHenry's glove is doing there? You could easily argue that it's bouncing off Lugo's shin, but you could also argue that whatever flexing the glove is doing is simply from quickly jerking it in a tagging motion. We've seen the video, but how about a still image? Something that 100% clearly shows the tag. The day after the game, Fangraphs writer Jack Moore wrote an article titled Obvious, in which he argues against the Meals call being clear as day. He points to a picture posted by Tennessee Titans beat writer Travis Haney on Twitter, that's a lot of T's, which essentially boils down to this. I went back to the video and did a version of my own. It's not really any clearer though. Moore writes, "Can we definitively say, even from that picture, where glove ends and where shadow begins, it's not like blowing up the picture really helps any, does it? Maybe I need my eyes checked." This isn't the Joyce Galarraga play, where the video and pictorial evidence was so obvious. This is a case where, in my opinion, the confirmation bias of seeing baseball beat runner by so much, the throw beat him by a mile, manifested itself in a similar reaction. I agree with him completely. Mike Fast also posted some screenshots on Baseball Prospectus, which you guys are more than welcome to shift through. Meals himself had this to say directly after the game. "I saw the tag, but he looked like he olayed him, and I called him safe for that. I looked at the replays and it appeared he might have got him on the shin area. I'm guessing he might have got him, but when I was out there when it happened, I didn't see a tag. I just saw the glove sweep up. I didn't see the glove hit his leg." And let's give him some credit here. Meals had an amazing view of the play, better than ours. You'll notice that a lot of the video I'm using isn't exactly of the highest quality, which is a product of when this play took place and what video is still available. Meals, however, doesn't have to worry about that because he's 2 feet from the plate. He also does his due diligence by waiting until Lugo touches home before declaring him safe. Still, a big problem with this play was that the narrative had been set. I'll outline the narrative for you now. The ugly little narrative is comprised of 3 simple parts. Number 1, the game was in the 19th inning. Number 2, the game had been going on for over 6.5 hours and it was nearly 2 in the morning local time. Number 3, Meals simply wanted to end the game and was willing to miss a call in order to do just that. I was talking to someone the other day and I said it's unfortunate really, as I don't think it's fair to Meals at all, but some have argued that he just wanted to end the game. I don't believe that Meals would have made a let's go home call. He's a professional after all, but that doesn't mean we can forget about just how long this game had been going in the first place. Everyone was fatigued, not just Meals, but also McHenry, who's the guy who's trying to make the tag. Weird stuff happens when people are fatigued. And then the guy turned to me and he said, "Sir, if you're not going to look at the instruments, I'm going to have to ask you to leave Guitar Center." A day after the game, Meals walked back his original statement and admitted all wrongdoing. After coming into the locker room, I reviewed the incident through our videos that we have in here, and after seeing a few of them on one particular replay, I was able to see that Lugo's pant leg moved ever so slightly when the swipe tag was attempted by McHenry, Meals said. That's telling me that I was incorrect in my decision, and that he should have been ruled out and not safe. Whether you choose to believe that or not is up to you, but it would have certainly required the MLB to have a different camera angle than any of ours, which I doubt. Look, I gotta tell you guys. Meals apologized, but I really wish he hadn't. Unfortunately, as I said, the narrative had been set, and the MLB was in damage control. ABC News was covering this call as if it was a foregone conclusion.
The collision and the tag, plainly obvious to all who saw it, except Jerry Meals, the only man whose opinion mattered.
Go on YouTube right now and type in MLB worst calls or something like that. This play will always feature. It's generally accepted as a terrible call, potentially the worst ever, but considering how close it is to being a tag or not being a tag, I just can't agree with that designation. Remember the infield fly and Galarraga Lost Perfecto I showed you at the beginning of this video? I did that for a reason. Those 2 plays, along with the 19th inning call we are looking at, were instrumental in the MLB expanding the usage of instant replay in the 2014 season.
And do you think that this is just another example of why baseball should bring instant replay into plays like that? They already have it for home runs, but for plays like this?
Yes. Yeah, after playing all them innings, yes. Yes, it's very upsetting for the whole team to play that hard for that many innings and to lose it that way.
In one final act of desperation, we're going to pretend that Julio Lugo comes barreling home in a post-expanded replay era. Meals calls him safe, everyone is shocked, but the game isn't over. The Braves probably don't storm the field as there's absolutely no finality to it. Clint Hurdle doesn't explode at Meals either. Why? The play is going to be reviewed, and in the minds of everyone in the stadium, it will likely be reversed. But would it be? We've already looked at every single angle, every piece of evidence available to us. Even though Meals himself said he saw Lugo's pant leg slightly move when he reviewed it a day later, would the same conclusion be made in the heat of the moment, with all eyes watching the replay team? According to the MLB rulebook, if the replay official does not feel he has enough video evidence to make a decision at the time of prompting by the replay director, or management official serving on his behalf, the replay official shall inform the crew chief that the call stands. Replay officials have exactly 2 minutes to complete their reviews. We have been looking at this play for far longer than that, and I'm sure Meals did as well once he got around to reviewing the tape. Do you think a replay official finds evidence good enough to reverse this call in 120 seconds? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So, despite what that upset Pirates fan had to say about instant replay in that news clip, the call likely would have stood. At least it would have if the replay review was administered correctly, which doesn't always happen. I mean, I've seen some pretty crazy stuff. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. Anyways, there you have it. The worst call of all time might have been right all along, and it likely would have stood if subjected to modern replay review. Whether Lugo was actually safe or not is something that only the baseball gods can know. Us mere mortals shouldn't bother bickering about it. Instead, we should focus on something we can all agree on. You see, I haven't even shown you guys the best part of this play. Scott Proctor, our shaky relief pitcher turned hero batsman, absolutely eats it coming out of the batter's box. I mean, just look at him. This is a professional athlete. May I remind you, he had a 6.5